Street dealers, one of the newest additions Rockstar added to GTA Online. In this video, I am going to be showing you guys how to fully maximize the amount of money you can make from these people. And it's actually higher than what you can make normally. So if you like making money by just clicking a couple of buttons, then stay tuned. This is the video for you. So these new street dealers, they came out about a week or so ago, and you can find them around the map. There are 3 daily. They do change locations. I'll show you guys how to find the location because of course they don't actually show up on your map until you're like right next to them. But there's a very, very easy way you can check to see where they are and actually which ones are selling the most, or I guess buying from you with the most money. But these street dealers are a new way to use the old biker businesses and the acid lab that just came out. Now, if you're like me and like many other people, you probably have those biker businesses, but you have not touched them in so long. Mainly because the missions, like the sell missions, are not fun at all. They were before their time. A lot of the missions involve you driving super slow vehicles around the map, and it's just not enjoyable. So a lot of people like myself, just you bought them and then you don't ever use them. Well, now with these street dealers, you can actually make use of them without having to deal with any of the annoyances at all. And that's why these street dealers are so good. So how do you find them? We're going to take a look at this lovely website. I'll leave a link to it in the description. This is my favorite website to check for all map related stuff. It's unfortunate there's no like in-game mechanic for this. And especially now with Rockstar adding these things that only show up when you're like close to them, it's kind of frustrating. But this map here shows everything. You can see on the left-hand side, I mean, there's anything you can want on here. Gun van, if you want to see where that's at, it's over here, Fort Zancudo. But we have the street dealers, and there are 3 per day. Like I said, you can see today they are down by the casino, over here on the left-hand side of the map, and then one all the way up in Paleto Bay. And the best part about this little website is you can actually click on them and see what they actually are selling. So this one, well, it just gives a little description of how everything works, but you can actually see what this guy is buying your stuff for. So this one actually has the cocaine as the sort of preferred drug he is buying. And you can actually see the exact total if you do decide to sell everything. And that number is going to change if we, let's say, go down to this guy and we scroll. This guy has weed as his preferred drug. So you can see cocaine is only 20,000 here, where up here it was almost 40,000. And then the same thing for this third one. You can see this guy is buying meth, 2 units or 2 quantities for 35K. And all of them together, 85K, 81K, and 86K. If you do add all of those numbers together, that's about $250,000 you can make per day by just driving around the map, flying around the map, and selling all your drugs to these people. Again, that's not bad for a business, for a couple of these businesses that you probably were never going to touch again. 250K per day, that's pretty good. And the best part is we can actually use one of the features Rockstar added a while back to help out with this, to make it even less annoying. No longer do you have to go to each one of these businesses, driving, flying around the map, resupplying. Sometimes your businesses aren't near each other. Go to your arcade, and you might have to buy it if you don't have it already. But if you do own a master control terminal down here in the arcade, just use this. Now, on this account, apparently I don't have any businesses bought, so your thing's gonna look a little bit different. You're obviously not gonna have it all locked, but just go here, and I mean, I'll show it, I think, with the gun running bunker, because that's apparently the only business I have on this account. You can just buy your stock and resupply from this single location. And your arcade probably is down in the city, so it's not going to be too far away. It's probably going to be a lot easier to get to your arcade rather than all 5 of these biker businesses. So just go to your arcade. When you see that your stock is running low on any of those businesses, just buy the resupply, and then you don't have to do any of the annoying missions. You don't actually have to ever become an MC either, which means that your businesses won't get raided. So that's another little pro to doing this method of just going to the control terminal and then selling all the drugs once they've accumulated to the various dealers. Now, these dealers do actually also use your nightclub stock if there is no biker business stock. So that's something you might want to look out for. I think it still pays the same. But if you do AFK in your nightclub, then maybe just run your biker businesses again, get the stock up so it takes it from that rather than your nightclub. But if not, then you can just use the nightclub stock. And again, you'll still be making about 250K per day. Now, as far as how this compares to some of the other businesses, this is a pretty handy dandy little graphic here by Reddit user LogOfOne. He's always making these pretty awesome little graphs to help us understand things a little bit better. This one is slightly confusing, but you can kind of get an idea of how they compare against each other. We have obviously the 4 different drugs. We have towards the right-hand side here, the preferred total value sell, which is the new street dealers. This is the second one. The one in green here is the MC. Like if you're doing the actual missions from the businesses, that's what that'll get you. And then this last one is the nightclub profit per crate. So at the street dealer, this yellow line, you can only sell 1 cocaine, 10 acid, 2 meth, and 10 weed per day. Now this total sell value is what you're going to be making if it's not a preferred drug. So it's not obviously the best here, but again, you can do it 3 times. So add that up, times it by 3 for your daily amount. But of course we have the preferred value, which does come out to be a little bit higher. It's 40K for cocaine, about 30K for the acid, meth about 35K, and then the weed is 30K. But if we do actually compare the preferred value to the other 2 ways to sell your supply, the street dealer actually comes out to be on top. The cocaine is more than the biker business. It's definitely more than the nightclub. Acid, same thing, although you can't do it at the nightclub. The meth is also higher if you're doing the preferred method compared to the regular biker business. And then the weed is the exact same thing when you compare it to the business and the nightclub. So preferred, if you are selling your stuff all just using the preferred drugs that the street dealers are buying, it's definitely way better than the other 2 methods of selling them. Of course, we have to deal with the regular value, and that's where you are going to see some decline in profits, like the cocaine. If you're not selling it preferred, is only 20K, where it's more in some of these other businesses. But honestly, when it comes to these biker businesses, I think a lot of us don't really care if we're going to be losing a little bit of money, or at least we're not going to be having the most efficient way of making the money, because those biker businesses are not that great. They're just not fun. They're not really that enjoyable to do, which is why these street dealers are actually pretty damn handy. I think a very, very easy thing you can do daily to just get the most out of this is you pull up this website, you check out where they are, then you go into GT Online, check your master control terminal, maybe set your spawn location to your arcade, make sure all the stock is up, and then take out your helicopter, your Person Mark II. If you want to drive to make it slower, go for it. Go to the 3 locations, literally just click all the buttons, sell all of your drugs to these people, and make your 250K per day. If you play daily, that's literally $1 million in only 4 days. And that takes about, what, maybe 10 minutes if you're driving or flying slowly around the map to do all that, compared to the probably hours you'd have to be waiting and doing some of those sell missions for the other businesses. These street dealers, I thought they wouldn't be that great, but turns out they actually make some of the more useless businesses pretty damn good. So anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully this helps you guys out with these street dealers. Hopefully you take advantage of them. But that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please drop it a like if you did enjoy and found it helpful. Subscribe for more GTA content, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.